parts all over. Oh, there's Joey's truck right there for those of you guys that are wondering. He's an Iowean. What do they call them? Ioweans? Ioweans? Iowegians?
I think Iowegian.
All right, so let's try this oil pan. We tried to clear off the silly snot they had all over it, but looks like we're getting, I guess Moroso sells a nice oil pan for 7.3. So they did have that stuff slopped on there to fix the crack. And we can't ride like that, so we're gonna get a different oil pan. Kind of a drag, because some of you 7.3 guys might like this oil pan. It doesn't have a lot of rust on it. Probably the second most rusted thing on the planet is a 7.3 oil pan. Wicked bumpers. We got some bumpers here. There's like a constant array of bumpers. These are all rears, all different kind of styles. They got different stuff going on with them. It's going to be with a Line X style coating on it. Guys, it's been a great week. I can't believe all the support we've gotten from you guys that's watching, tuning in, keeping up with us. I'm about to tear into this Excursion right here. It's time to see if we can't polish some fingernails. Dirty front cover, I'm gonna leave it. We are gonna put all this stuff on. Let's, I'm kind of reminiscent right now because this is, it's like old times, but it actually is better than old times. Gotta show that as much as we can. Look at that oil can. Oh, that thing's pretty. Cody's is coming up. It's kind of shoved over here in the corner. I think if I could get the donkey out of the way, then maybe I could work on something. So we stopped in the 7.3. We're at well, it didn't really stop, but it's the beginning of the morning. I'm all clean, and I think it's a good time to set a set of cylinder heads on the Excursion because that's a pretty clean job. Messing with the 7.3, it looks like that gasket is still there, but it feels pretty good. But after working it more, it does. It keeps coming off. And the dowels are seized. So they're available. I'll try to get them out, but worst case, say bye-bye. You're going to live a dead life. But I don't want to touch this right now because we have fresh machine surfaces and fresh cylinder heads to go on. And push rods are not here. Have not also opened the head gaskets. So we're gonna see if the 50% warranty rate holds true. I mean, there is a big freaking tear in it right there, but there's no scratch on the gasket. So holy crap, how did that happen? I wonder if it's right there. I don't know. It's going on though. We have 3 of them. We didn't get the 4th. Normally when we need a set of head gaskets, get 4 of them. Just get 4 so you can return the other 2. Chances are you're going to open both of them. We have a 7.3 going. That's going to be surface, board, pistons, bearings. I don't care which way we go. I mean, we could put a crank in that thing, put some high performance stuff in it, and make it see what 7.3s can do, the little old dirty pigs. Let's just push it until its heart explodes. Cylinder heads for that are right here. Just waiting to be final spec'd. I want to check everything right now before we tear it apart. Now, that is not to say that they are right, because just because you have a cylinder head and you measure it, and it measures one way, like 30s to 50s on whatever, that does not mean it's right. Whoever ran it that day could have messed it up. So at least I'm going to have the one engine to check, just to run through and see a baseline and what it is. We got about 2 more 7.3s outside. So by the time I'll build a baseline, well, it'll be just like 6 liters. We'll have a baseline of what the general range, and then I want to have a little seat of the pants feel, because I'm not sure how much of agreeance I am on the massive valve recession on the 7.3. I don't know that I like that. I'm going to sleep on it a little bit more before we actually decide. We'd have to see how much clearance we got from piston to valve. I'd like to know that. I don't have a CNC mill, lathe, all the best freaking things in the whole world. I don't have all that. Those people can put the exact hole right where it needs to be. And I don't know whether to be jealous of them and be happy or kick them in the balls, because, I'm just like, damn it, I kind of like to do that too. But I mean, see me, I had my stupid thought that I'd like to just cut a cylinder head in half and make cutters out of the guides. And then you could bolt it right on the cylinder deck, on the deck. And then just run it down and clearance it very easily. Well, so that's my feeble mind idea. In here, in the fancy pants new freaking fresh Honer, Cody is ready to go. Pistons are here. It changed all the way to there. See that? Right there is where it started changing. Now you look over on the 7.3 over here. We're gonna call her a girl. Oh, that one has a little right there too. Ha ha ha, proving me wrong. Trying to constantly R&D. This guy, there's always a better way to do something. I put all the stuff back in the Honer, painted, cleaned it all up. I mean, you know, fairly well. I just put it in here to get it out of the way because I knew I kind of wanted to get the 7.3 started, because I haven't ran this Honer in a year. It's been over a year since I ran it, and that head is temperamental. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the 7.3 because there's a very good chance I'm gonna punch this block out. That'll go over there. Okay, let's start over. Excursion gone. Say bye-bye. In the meantime, I'll have this honed, get this spray cabinet, bone dry, take it over, put it in the assembly room on the stand. Crankshaft, figure what we're gonna do on our ghetto rig sanding on the crankshaft journals. Way over there. Yeah, I know you don't know yet. I see it in my head, and once it happens, you'll understand it. Like this little area, isn't this nice? I got a little workshop, one engine workshop. And then by then we would have ordered the correct size to be able to punch that out. Because there's a very good chance that what I have right here for the head, for how far I can expand the diamonds, will decide if I can cut that. So the way I'm gonna find out is I'm gonna freaking put it in the freaking machine and expand the diamonds out as far as I possibly can. Hope for the best. We'll learn. We'll learn by figuring it out. I just don't know that I want to be happy with the valve recession. I think we can like push the pedal down a little bit further, or let's die trying. 50 freaking thousandths? No wonder why they never blow heads. I mean, granted, they got 5 bolts. Okay, fine. Is there some exponential reason? Do we not have enough injection pressure to push the fuel into the cylinder to overcome a higher compression? I don't know. That is some stuff we probably should figure out, because that'd be pretty catastrophic, wouldn't it, if we put it on there and then the injectors don't push enough? And then you got to put, that's probably how the first high performance build came up. Why is it that far away? That's what I'm thinking. Why is it that far away? Tighten it up a little bit. Let's give it a little more response and let that air come in and out faster. Build more, push that piston harder. And I want these boards to be movable. I want them on quick removable hooks, like hangers down on the bottom of it. Because I want this board to move with this job at whatever station it's at. That way you can transfer it when issues arise, like head dowels not coming out, whatever, no matter what process the job is in, we can always add to the list. Yeah. What we got going on up in this hollow box? Looks like it just might be the first set of pistons up in the house. Let's hope they live a long, prosperous life. And
they've changed this box too.
That's how the Max Force ones used to come.
Yeah.
Here you go. Here's your long, prosperous life. We just opened the first set in the new building. This is yours.
Does it make you happy?
So go put them in the glove box, and they'll do you a lot of good.
I got a mouse nest in there.
Remember I was talking about those shipping lanes and all that stuff. We're trying to figure it out. We're getting better. Look like we got about 6 cans of WD-40.
I already put some of it away.
So, and fan clutch. I wonder which way it goes. Yep, just like that. So let's get this off here. I don't want to think so. Maybe we'll put it right up. Oh, come on, please fit.
I put some
like
in there
room under it.
I laid it right there.
Looks like there's room under it.
To move the shelf?
You think I can get it out with everything on it?
I don't know.
Well, we got to check the oil in the Honer head. Let's just do that right. There you go. There'll be a fat chance of holding it out. This is Bob's. Bob, I bought got Bob's toolbox. Let me squirrel a little bit real quick. Bob, that's your box. It's still here. I've been putting stuff in it that might be mementos to you. That's got to go. That's got to stay in your family, but I'm just kind of holding on to it. Remember, I bought that from you, but it's a little too. I think it's a little too sentimental to actually sell. So you can't sell it. Here we go. Oh goodness. Why did I do that? That probably would have made a lot of sense. How many down? One?
I guess. Now grab a test can. There's a can right there.
Haha. Brake clean. Get a can of brake clean. Yeah, it looks like a winner. So if you need some WD-40, go right here. It's going to be up in there. Oh, yes. Let's see what side we want to do. What do we want to do here? Let's get moved in. We got WD-40 brake clean. So for now, we'll just put it over. Freaking crap here. Okay, we'll put that up. The cats are knocking crap over. Look at
Great.
that. These things won't even close if you have them both flat.
Yep, they gotta be closed.
Trying to get too much stuff done at the same time. I need to slow down. Slow down, relax. One thing at a time. Hate leaving this stuff out. You know, especially when I've got these little holders to put them in. 'Cause I got it out last night to check numbers, and some of these I have to like clean off. Luckily, these I don't. Look how used those are. They're brand new. Man, that hurts. Got a cut right there. And I put a little brake clean on the towel right before. I already had it done, but it's been sitting for a day. We covered it with plastic. It's pretty clean and almost lint free, but I'm gonna go ahead, a little brake clean, and just go around everywhere with a sealant and make sure that the pores are clean. Because if there's dirt in the pores around the fire ring, then the sealant can't go where dirt is. So I need to, I'm about to put gloves on. Man, both hands are cut. Ah, that hurts. One swipe. Oh, it's, look at that. We had it fairly clean. But you can tell by the color of it, it's pretty good. I mean, it's dirty. Look, this was a clean towel. So I'm getting some out of it. I mean, if you let it sit, it will just get it. Even if it's covered up or not, it'll still have stuff in it. And yeah, this, I saw that last comment where it was, this isn't a race engine. This is an engine that we actually want. When we put this thing together, I want human eyes to never see these pistons again, is the goal of it. So if you don't clean out those pores, then where's the sealant gonna go? It's gonna sit right on top. It's not gonna adhere, it's not gonna lock in.
I was standing here watching Anthony clean, and I looked down, and that is just a vacuum line. Yeah.
Wow.
That's, yeah, so beautiful.
Let's see what happens. Good, bad, or ugly. Here we go. We need to.
Well, I don't know. I was gonna say just open one. The other one just has one little spot on, like, around there. Just one little spot.
But either way, one is going back to warranty, because that other one, if I wanted to use it, then it would not be warrantyable. But since I don't want to use it, she might wind up with a...
What am I missing here? You said the four-wheel drive didn't work.
Shit. Okay.
Let's look real quick. Oh, I see some there. Right where that cardboard
And I only
tab
see
was.
a little bit on the fire ring. There's a little scratch right there, and a little spot. That one is, so far, I'll put it on. You know, I know we said 50%, but it's more like 75 to 80%. But we're gonna go with that. That's bolt hole, that's not the oil, which still could leak, but I mean, there's a point where it's gotta be a fire deck issue. Let's put this back over. I hate their packaging. I gotta blow off the deck surface one more time. I didn't blow it off because I wanted to double check this. I don't want to go blowing it off again if we're gonna just take it right back off and have to do it again. Use them.
Those actually look pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, we got a little here and a little there where it ain't perfect. Okay, so how bad do we want to be? You know, right now we've got 1 good head gasket out of 5. So you do that ratio. So we're 80% warranty rate. I wish the valves were clean. I hate doing half-ass jobs. I can't believe you caught that. Say bye-bye deck surfaces.
Bye-bye, deck surface.
Bye-bye. Take a look at the old dirty pistons. No lifters. We did not do lifters. And to think about this, actually, I might be probably doing a little disservice, but I hope not. But hopefully. So, I mean, I'm not giving him enough time. I mean, we did, I guess, but if we stick with this routine that we're going to plan on maybe a bed plate in the future and heads on if the oil leak gets bad enough, which probably won't happen, but we will have to take the heads off again to put lifters in it. So the life of this engine will be, we got studs in it with no lifters, and then however in the future, bed plate with still no lifters. We'd have to take the heads off again. I wanted to say that because I thought about that after looking at that last video, and I think it's kind of a drag. It is. It's kind of a drag. But it's the position we're in, so we got to go for it. I'm gonna take this off. We did clean it. It looks pretty good. Grab that thing. You want to go down with it? Floor's probably a little dirty. Oh no, you're not gonna have enough?
It's like doing its own.
We went through and painted all this. I want to take it apart because I just want to see how the coolant is going to flow through everything. See if we have enough, because before it'd starve itself, but it would starve itself as it got dirty and the holes would plug up. So I drilled a couple of holes here. I drilled some holes here in different levels. Those are going to plug up real fast, but hopefully they'll help a little bit. There's little gaps underneath here too for it to flow through, but the concept is the coolant flows over the top of it, and it has to be all the way full to do it. So I wanted a little overflow to let some go through. We're going to be taking it out and cleaning it more often now. So right now we're make sure the drain's closed, and we'll start pouring coolant in it. We're going to do it 20 to 1. So what I'll do is I'll dump a gallon in, and then 20 gallons of water. This old dirty pig has got to have, I hope I'm right, I've been putting it in there for years, non-detergent 20. That's what we put in here. And it leaks indefinitely. I mean, yeah, one would say I should probably fix it. But I only put oil in it like once every 2 years, probably. Every time when I open the plug, it just pours out. So maybe that's from me overfilling it. I don't know. Just a little thirsty. Let's give her the vaccine. Oh, get a towel. Yeah, it's impossible one-handed. Let's see how many it takes. Let's wait a minute, see if it pours out. Still taking it. Oh, it might be full. Quick. Nope, it still ain't full.
Doesn't really look big enough to have an oil dipstick tube in here, but well, we'll see.
This is our first order, our first Ford dealer order. Got my fingers off. Ups.
They did.
It's empty. What? They got creative.
Yeah, they did.
I thought there was some parts in there. There ain't no. I mean, I said it's not going to be a very big one because the block's still in, everything's still in. This is just a head gaskets.
This is where my job begins.
Yep, Julie's going to work. We had about 2 parts worth of this, and they got kind of used by the shop here over the last year. But we got some parts. Shawnee Mission Ford, baby. Call him up. Talk to Derek. He'll take care of you. Right now, we need push rods. Push rods, and we are going to put the valve train back on, and they're too late on the exhaust. Joey was getting the exhaust on, but he had until the Shawnee Mission parts came. He can still do it, but now the table's going back up because we're going to go ahead and take this off now that everything showed up. Wanted to make sure it all showed up before we went any further than this, but I do not like babysitting cylinders when they're open. So once we actually got a set of head gaskets that we could put on that we were happy with, put the heads on, and me and Julie we slide them right down. We'll show that some other day because there's tips and tricks for that too. And then I put the head bolts in, the top ones. We did not paint the cylinder heads either. We didn't paint them. But we put those in so that they almost touch. Almost. Look, I bet I can wiggle it. See, it's not tight. I do not want to disrupt the head gasket at all. Once we set the head on it, those, they can easily be taken out. I mean, they are not touching. They did not disrupt the head when I put them on. It was just get them on there because they go there anyways. So, but the first bolt that I want to tighten, the first nut, is going to be this one right here. And I want it from when the head gasket go, especially what I'm getting at is when we have like a break time here, like we had about an hour where we didn't have any equipment, we didn't have the parts. So it's sitting there doing nothing, right? I don't want to tighten these down and pull the head like that and take a chance that when I pull this down, it also disrupts the head a second time. You could cause a second set of scratches, right? So leave it the heck alone. Once you set it on there, don't even touch it. We got to get the rocker box, valve train, all that stuff on it, and hope that the weight of the cylinder head, right, does not move around. Granted, it's on dowels too, so it's not going to move a lot. And then we tighten this first one down. Most people probably don't even put these in, but it is a very good idea right when you put the head on, put those in before the head gasket's tight. Because there are times you got these aftermarket head gaskets and even Ford head gaskets, every now and then, if these are not in, they will actually bind up in here. Just a little, and then you'll catch a little burr. Not that it probably doesn't even matter. Okay, now that he's shut the hell up over there in the other freaking bay, what the hell was we talking about? Okay, yeah, don't scratch your head gaskets. Where's everybody at? Guess they're not going to learn anything today from this. When we put this on, do not just start in one spot. It's not going to work. Don't start right here. Go here. It's torque sequence. Do a freaking O-ring sequence. Here. Move around so that otherwise you will stretch it. You'll stretch it and you'll get to the end and it'll be too freaking big. You won't be able to get it on there. You'll be all upset. It's been a while since we've gotten any rocker box gaskets. We gotten a whole load of stuff over there, and well, I hope they all fit like they used to.
Hope so.
This appears to be pretty good.
Awesome.
Here we go. Throw some 13s on it. Oil cooler in. You missed a lot of the. I could have, if you was standing right here, I could have went through and showed you every little step of how I fill the O-ring channels and seat the O-ring on and then flip the housing upside down so that it doesn't come off and blah, blah, blah. But you missed it. Okay, this is the rocker box gasket. This is arguably just as important as the head gasket because in order to do anything to this rocker box gasket, you have to bust the head gasket off. And a lot of times from cleaning this, I seal this. I put sealant on it, TA29. And
So we wipe it with brake clean and a clean towel too, just to...
Same concept, so that the pores of the cylinder head, the pores of the casting are open and ready to accept some sealant. So it'll stick in there and never ever leak.
Something you've shown 100 times.
Of course, this is not a fresh engine, so the lifters are already seated on the camshaft. So I would use, if you just put the lifters in and you don't actually force them down on the camshaft until this moment, then it's a good way to tell that the push rod is actually engaged in the cup of the lifter. But you can also tell by pushing on it just a little bit, kind of. Not a bad thing to check your alignment. Now I got this bracket. Some of you might have this bracket in your toolbox. It was their feeble attempt back in the early days of 6 liter to bolt this on and have this in service to hold the STC fitting in place. This was for a non-updated. This was designed to be able to put it on a non-updated STC. So I use that because it's a pretty good alignment bracket to when I'm tightening the STC fitting down. I'll use these nylon nuts. And now they come up with a plastic one that only goes from here to here to here, but I like the metal one because it goes to both sides. But I will go ahead and just make sure this is snug, like I was talking about. Just give it a little turn. Yep, I didn't tighten it at all, so leave it alone. So we'll take this. It shouldn't drip anymore. Up, over, lower it down gently, and lower it in. There you go. Kind of. All right, so we're putting this STC fitting, which is not STC, it's the upgraded STC. I always get that, yeah, because this is not STC. STC is snap to connect. This obviously is not that. But it got put on this pump, and it's 5 turns. Should be 5 turns. Now, I'm not, don't quote me, but this is not lining up. Now, it's really tight. You can pry on the oil, the branch tube, but what I'm gonna have to do now is I wanna go ahead and back the fitting out 1 turn. Loosen the jam nut, and I'll go ahead and take it all the way out, inspect the O-ring. As long as the O-ring's good, then I'll put it back in, but I'll put it in 1 thread back so that this thing lines up, because it does not line up. So do not put your fitting in too tight. I'm pretty sure it's 5 turns, but it's worth a test fit when you walk over to the pump with it, or to the engine, and you set the pump down, line it on the dowels there, and then look down here and see. It wouldn't be a bad thing to do it before you tighten your jam nut. Thread it in 5 circles from when it engages, keep threading it, and then come over and set it down here and look in there. And if it looks like that, then back it off a turn. It's very tight. So they did that, at least. Let's hope I don't spin this off of the... I heard it make noise when it came
I heard
loose.
it too.
Like it crunched or crackled. They probably ran it all the way in. Just threaded it all the way to the bottom, and you can't do that. You don't go all the way. Jam nut makes the seal. And it was not loose, so the O-ring is still good. What would you guys do at this point right here? What would you do? Would you put a new STC fitting on it? Or would you ride with it? Oh, hand me the 8s. Let's do a little test thread. Because I like them to not line up. If they're not lined up, it'll drag against the side of the block. And what it actually will do is you'll wind up stripping out the bolt. Is what you'll do. Just strip the bolt out, try and tighten it. Yeah, it should set right down there and thread right on. So that's 5 turns, so I was right. So do 5 turns once it engages, and then tighten the jam nut. They had, I think, probably 6. So now let's go tighten the jam nut using our alignment block. So spin that tight. That's good. Now we'll, and this is the STC fitting wrench, made for it. 60 foot-pounds. About that tight. But it's 15/16 because that does the upgraded fitting. 1 inch does the actual STC fitting. I think they made it for that. So now we'll take this all off and put it back on now that it fits. So this is what it takes, what it looks like on our intake when you get it. And then you use your 2 bolts that hold the EGR cooler. The stud goes to the back. Just remember that. The stud always goes to the back. And we use a factory gasket. Just put a factory gasket on it. It works freaking great. Factory gasket, fish that on, and then we send the intake with a block off plate. And then you can just thread it up here and then get the other one started. It don't even have to be very far, just start it. Turn it over and Give it a little, oh, how about I tighten it?
Oh, I had it on loosen. Sorry about that.
You just turn it over and just give that a little bit of snug. What is this?
That's an 11. It's a 10. He's looking at new fancy sockets.
All right, we'll just take them and I put oil on it. Put my finger right there, put a little oil around, because this goes onto the oil cooler. There, little smear of it right here. And then I just put a little on my hand and just rub it over it. I like to have it this wet. Just a little wet, not just wet. Now I'll take this. Donut gaskets on, the O-rings oiled. I oil the head surface and then put the intake gaskets on, and you pick it up pretty much and lower it. Where I'm focusing at is this hole right here to here. So watch that. So we'll take that down and we'll put it right there on it. Right there. Now we got to watch these flats on the intake gasket. Go right here. Throw a neck. That's for the ground, so we know that's a stud. We know this one's a bolt. What I really want to do is get the intake gasket in a line. So a lot of times you have to push down a little bit. This little guy, make sure if you look down here, let me go ahead and get the back one. It's a lot easier. See, I can pop this back one in, and sometimes you gotta push it. Push it pretty hard to get to go down through. Same with here.
There we go.
Now we might have to,
Because that is a new gasket.
I could use a new battery.
Okay.
Yeah, I think here, I think there's, if it's in the, I don't remember. I really could use a new battery. I get the last little bit out of it.
And it's done.
And that T30 over there. I did forget to, okay, now even, I mean, everybody, let me screw up a little bit. Okay, generally, this 10, which is basically an oil cooler cover bolt, we use that right here. Right there. And then the T30 will go right there. The T30 that normally goes there will go there, but the T45s that are here that go there factory are too short. So an oil cooler cover bolt, which it comes with when you buy an intake, it comes with it. T30. This one is more, this bolt is like decoration. It's not doing anything. It's not holding nothing. This one can be just a little, that one sucked it down a little bit. Let's see if that T30 moved, because it kind of acted like it sucked it down. Yeah. Okay, torque on, now here. I have to run these down so that they almost touch. Okay, then from there we'll go here to here. This is 10 foot-pounds. Back one and then front one. Then go to the back of the front.
Click, click.
Okay, there you go. That's how I put an intake on.